This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
So as we get closer to Yom Kippur, the tefillas, most important, that's what Hashem is listening to. That's ultimately what's going to determine our next year, our tefillah, our betachon, realizing Hashem runs everything. And sometimes it can feel like we're asking for too much. V'chasmeinu l'chaim tovim, v'chasmeinu b'sefer parnasa v'chakala. It's a big thing, it's a big deal. And sometimes you can feel overwhelmed, you can feel maybe we're asking too much from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a big deal, life itself. So I recently bumped into a neighbor of mine, Rav Mati Nadav from Monsey, and he told me an incredible story that he heard from Rav Simcha Bunenberger of Rav in Monsey as well. Rav Berger recently went to Eretz Yisrael, not to tour, not to see the north, the south, just to get away, to tap back in. And people asked him after the trip, where did he go? Did he go to Tzvas, to Tiberia, Meron, Amuka? And he said, no, nowhere. I just wanted to live the simplicity of Yerushalayim, be there for a week to experience the simplicity of life, to soak in the Kedusha, the Avira, the Ara. He rented a small apartment, he laid low, learned, went to yeshivas, and breathed the Heilige Avir of Eretz Yisrael. And one of the real highlights of his trip was a bris he attended, as he told Rabbi Nadav. And he said a friend of his had a baby in Yerushalayim and invited him. And the Sandik was the great Tzvika Shalevsky, the renowned Rosh Hashiva, who became a father for the first time, as the world knows, at close to 90 years old. And Rabbi Berger said that there was something unusually powerful, almost electric feeling in the room, a sense of overwhelming gratitude and emotion. And then he explained to Rabbi Nadav what this emotion, this electric feeling was all about. And explained that when this baby was born, it wasn't a regular situation, a healthy, happy baby went home and had the bris. No, the baby was absolutely, completely silent. There was no cry, nothing. The doctor said it was very bleak. And they said, usually we can try something, operating, intervene somehow. But here there's literally nothing we can do. The parents, of course, were broken, they were scared. And the father, in desperation, called his Rosh Hashiva and told him the situation. And the Rosh Hashiva gave a bracha, but the father was desperate and said, Rebbe, a bracha is not going to cut it. I need a havtacha, a promise. And the Rosh Hashiva said, a promise? And he paused for a moment. And he said, what are you willing to save this baby? And the Gaman, the father, said, Rebbe, Rosh Hashiva, anything. This is my son. And the Rosh Hashiva said, anything? And he said, yes, of course. And the Rosh Hashiva told him, take upon yourself to learn one kapitel of Tehillim every single day with the Pirush of Rashi and see what happens. And the father said, that's it? Just one? And the Rosh Hashiva affirmed, yes, just one kapitel, do that every day, and it's going to be okay. The day after they came home from the hospital, the father sat down and learned that first kapitel with Rashi, and that very day, a miracle unfolded. The baby made a complete turnaround. The doctors couldn't believe it. Medicine had no explanation. The baby began breathing, and 7 days later, the bris took place. And that, Rabbi Berger said, is why the room was charged with such energy, because everyone knew this was a miracle baby. To us, Rabbi Nadav said, this seems like such a huge miracle for something so small. No surgeries, no treatments, no endless medical bills, just a simple Kabbalah. How can this nace have happened with just seemingly a small Kabbalah? And he explained, said Rabbi Nadav, with a mashal. Imagine a child crying bitter tears, moaning and groaning, his face literally wet from the steady flow of tears. The father, assuming something serious, something terrible had happened, rushes over and says, what's wrong? Why are you crying? What can I do to help? And through sobs, the child chokes out, Tati, I just want a gumball. A gumball, says the father? That's all you want? I can give you a gumball. I can give you a whole bag of gumballs. I can buy you a bike. I can give you $100. This, Rabbi Nadav said, is exactly how it is with us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we recognize that everything is from Him, nothing is too big for Him to do, and nothing is too small for us to do, to show, to demonstrate that we know it's all Him. One kapitel of Tehillim with Rashi may seem so small, almost trivial, but it was enough to do what the doctors, with all their skill and expertise, admitted they could not do. When medicine had no answers, that single kapitel moved heaven and brought the life of this child back to this world. And for us too, nothing is too big for Hashem. He is the Kol Yachol. He can do anything. And during these days of Elul, Aseres Yemei Tshuva, Rosh Hashanah, and the climax, of course, Yom Kippur, we must remember that nothing is too big for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to grant. We cry, we beg, we plead for life, for health, for parnasa, for nachas. And to Hashem, there's no difference between a gumball and life itself. There's no such thing as hard for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All He wants is for us to turn to Him, to show Him that we know it's all from Him. And when we do that, when we shift all power and ability to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through tefillah, through bitachon, mitzvahs, ma'asim tovim, may He grant us the Yeshuas we need and bless us all with a Gemara.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.